traveled 19,924 miles on county roads. We took 724 911 calls and 2,984 total incoming calls to the jail. And last month, God bless you. Last month, a member of the sheriff's department was able to attend every one of the Halloween trunk or treats in Orleans-Vale and Valley. We also escorted the PHS band when they won state, volleyball when they won semi-state, and we escorted the Sykes boy from Valley when he won the state championship across country also. We attended the flagpole ceremony. Sandy, come in and let the perf to this appropriate. For Tara. Dr. Kinsey. Okay. I talked to Sandy, French Lick is offered to sell us a Tahoe for $35,000, and I wanted to move that money from one line item to the next, and Sandy had for that.
Yeah, so it's like we're moving it from a personnel line, so we're moving it from a personnel line to the patrol car. So we have to do like, kind of like an appropriation, only it's just a little bit different, but we do it this way, talk along about it. But in order to move it from a personnel line, we'll transfer. But that way he doesn't have to do an additional appropriation for it or ask for money anywhere else, but we'll have to vote on it and send this around and sign it.
Do we need to do that now?
Yeah.
I would.
Well, I'll make a motion.
I'll second. Rick makes the motion, George with the second. Any discussion? Not all in favor, signify by saying aye.
That way we don't have to pay additional appropriation or spend any money that's in the budget.
Appreciate that.
I'd like to ask for permission to spend $700 or $800 up commissary. With the year we've had, we're gonna put up Christmas party on for the guys. That's the deputies, the jail staff, and the dispatchers. I want to spend $700 or $800 on meat and stuff for a Christmas party. And according to the rule of 9, if you guys say that I can do that, I can spend it on commissary.
You go above blessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll say no more than.
No more than 1,000.
Okay. Yes, sir. And then, make sure if you get time to come to the square Sunday. Can't tell you what the surprise is, but if you're old like me, it's gonna be something to see. Wendy Ellen.
See, do you really know for the?
No, you can bring your grandson.
Oh, I thought you meant.
No,
I was
he's
old like
called.
that.
He's called.
I think so. I would do, Zach, I would do a motion on that.
No, he's calling you old. Wendy.
Yeah.
You're old.
Really, Sam?
Yeah. No.
So would someone like to make a motion on David's request for $1,000, no greater than $1,000?
I'll make that motion on $1,000 from commissary.
Chad, Jack, any discussion? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
The last thing I have is, like Andrew is going back for surgery to get the beginning words and put the skull cap back on. So we'll go in first and, go in first and to plastic surgeon, get the cap, the incision where it's healed up a little bit and where they can stretch the skin, and hopefully we'll be able to do that within the next 4 or 5 months. Just do that deal. He's still home, still recovering, so. Michelle, all I got?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, Carl, I think he's gonna be here, is that right? No updates for Carl, for the highway. So we'll move on to audience items. Looks like Krista Rue.
Yes.
Sorry, I just saw you, sorry.
That's all right.
I was scanning the room.
Anyway.
We have lots of representation from libraries. I
Yes,
appreciate
we
it.
do.
Let's go.
Yes.
I'm Tammy from the Paoli Library, and I know most of you, there's a couple I'm not sure I know. But we're here just to let you know that we would appreciate any input, any suggestions, and to be kept in mind as the SEA Act that is gonna that's going to affect the LIT money. It's gonna greatly affect the libraries. And so we've come up with some data just so that you can understand some of the things that the libraries do in your communities and how it's much more than just your casual reading. Did I drop something in the paper? So I can get it here. If you could just pass those around. So this is Christy from the Orleans Library, Trista from the Valley Library. What would you like to say?
Yeah, I'm Christy Morton from the Orleans Public Library, and just as Tammy said, we're just here to kind of put our faces out there to connect to, because if this was to go through the way it is now, the legislation is now, it's a potential for us to lose over 30% for each of our operating revenues for the year. So kind of a big deal for us. So we're trying to get out there and try to just make sure that people know how important we think libraries are. So.
And at first, whenever libraries came about, it was just simply books. Our patrons came in and they checked out books. Well, now it's much larger than that. We have online presence such as Overdrive, Hoopla, Canopy, that sort of thing. We do computers. A lot of our patrons simply do not have computers at home, so they come to the library. They print, they fax, they copy. We provide all that service to them as well. With this cut, if it should go through the way it is, operating hours would have to be cut down, staff would have to be cut down. Basically, what we're offering to our patrons, we would just simply have to eliminate a lot of that, which we really don't want to do. So really, we just want, if you could please just remember how important the libraries are to all three communities within Orange County. So that's basically what we are here for.
We've given you quite a bit of data. We aren't going to go over it right now. We're available for questions anytime. But it explains what we do, and you are second stop. So the first place we went to was commissioners. The commissioners directed us to write some letters to the state, and we plan on doing that and getting that out. But yeah, it's going to be hard for some people, I think. Thank you for your time for listening to us. Do you have any questions about anything?
Milton, I did go ahead and write a letter to Senator Cook, as well as I know some of our board members did as well.
There are several other people who
Yes.
are board members.
Yes, Barbara is one of the Milton board members.
Yes, Wendy is from the Orleans.
Yes.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time with us.
No problem.
You leaving, Wendy?
So you can stay for the rest of
You can empty your room now.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it. I took out half of my sign-in sheet here, so let me go down through the list here. Let's see. Ms. Walker.
Okay. So you have a handout, and it was pretty in color whenever I made it, but right now it's just black and white. But this is the school health liaison through Orange County Health Department budget that you guys and the commissioners approved back in early spring. So I'm doing my best to spend everything down by the end of December. The reason I'm here tonight is if you notice on line 2, this was money for the school nurses and myself to go to a conference. I'm the only one that went. Now the school nurses, their schedules didn't work out. They weren't able to go. So I have about $2,100 left from that I can't spend before December because there aren't any more conference opportunities. What I would like to do is to move that money to the very bottom. All of my schools participated in monthly staff wellness challenges, and I give incentives for those challenges. So for example, we do one that is getting out into nature, and the most teachers or staff, anyone, bus drivers, anyone can participate, that get out, hike, bike, kayak, canoe, whatever, get a chance for an incentive. And I would like to use this money for those incentives. So for that month, I would give like park passes to the one for each school, or person from each school. Just depending on kind of what the activity is, the incentive would go along with that. So if it's something to do with nutrition, it might be cookbooks or healthy eating something would be the incentives they would get. So I would it's not a request for new money, it's just moving it from that conference, and I would split it equally between all 3 schools. And the commissioners, like I said, we went to them first and they said that would be fine, so I'm here with you guys to see if that would be okay.
What do you mean park passes?
Like the state park, like the $50, I think they're like $50 or, and
Yes,
you get
ma'am.
all year, you get to use it unlimited.
Yep.
That's just one of my ideas. It kind of, I try to
that's great.
I try to tie it into what they're interested in, not just, you know, a gift bag or something, but something that they could actually use. And like I said, this is for all staff, not just teachers, just anyone can participate in the schools.
Yes.
So, yeah,
I'll make that motion.
Alan's motion,
And I'll second it.
Chad with the second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Got
thank
it.
you guys.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Veronica,
Hello everyone, my name is Veronica Petier. I'm with the Purdue Extension Office here in Orange County. I work as a split educator in 4-H youth development and health and human sciences. And I sent an email out, but I wanted to kind of do a reminder that we are having our annual extension meeting on December 1st. It's on a Monday at 6 p.m. at the Orange County Community Center. It is open to the general public. If they are interested in attending, we will have a meal. We also have a big announcement that we would like to make. So I hope that you all can attend. If you can't attend and you're interested in learning more about that initiative, I'd love to speak with you on that. With that being said, a little bit of a hint, and something that you all could help me with is just knowing about more of the Blessing Box initiatives in the community. I've identified with some other stakeholders, Brandon Clary and Rebecca Heck Alvarez, that there is another Blessing Box that wasn't initially listed on the Convert Food Guide that's created for the county, the food resource guide that was created. I know Rebecca has been working and created a digital map of where all the Blessing Boxes are located, which is also nice because that can be edited very easily and be found online now. I know that there was one Blessing Box that was moved in the French Lick area to the police department, I believe. So mainly just wanting to know more information about who might oversee the Blessing Boxes, if there's been conversations about new Blessing Boxes or any boxes that might need maintenance or additional stocking. If you have any information or if there's any community partners or members that are interested or passionate about that, to please connect with me by reaching out to our office or emailing me directly. So those are a few things. Another thing that we have is December 2nd is Purdue Day of Giving. So even though that does say Purdue Day of Giving, each county has an individual giving link. And basically it's an initiative that all extension counties and areas take part in to basically do a fundraiser for programming needs that are directly linked back to Orange County. So Orange County has a specific link. I've been advertising that. If anyone is interested in learning more about extension programming, a good time to come is that December 1st annual meeting, as well as coming by our office to learn more. So there's 4 areas of extension for anyone who may not be aware of all the different areas. We have health and human sciences, where we do food, family, health, and money programming for the community. We have agriculture and natural resources, so if anyone's familiar with park training or other resources for our farmers in the area, soil testing, 4-H youth development for our K through 12th grade in the community, as well as community development, which is a lot of the work that Tanya Hall does in the county, but she also serves as a regional extension specialist. So community development is one area that we do not have currently within our office, besides the work that Tanya does. Lastly, I know that was a lot of information. I know the librarians were here, and something I just want to speak on, just from personal experience, even though I'm not from Orange County, I was a big person of utilizing the library growing up. I did not have access to internet growing up. I did not have a computer. My neighbors a mile down the road could get internet access, but unfortunately where my home was located, I could not have internet access. So I depended heavily on my local library. In Crawford County, and I think still today, they even have a scholarship through the high school for students who utilize their local library. So someone was very passionate about that and initiated an endowment with the Crawford County Community Foundation. So I just kind of wanted to speak a little bit about the importance of public libraries, how it has impacted me. I would not be here today if it was not due to public libraries. Not just internet access, having access to education, to resources, being able to have a public space, simply being able to exist and utilize that resource without, meeting a certain criteria or being a part of something specifically Like anyone could utilize the public library. I've utilized it for meetings. Even in my profession now, it impacts me greatly and impacts our community because I'm collaborating with our libraries to extend outreach and extend the programming that I do here in Purdue Extension. One of the things that I did recently was the Family Dinner Project initiative. So essentially that is talking about family dinner projects and specifically about sitting down and having that quality mealtime with your family and how that connectedness and conversation alone can have great health benefits. There's been a lot of extensive research done specifically with communities or individuals who engage in that one-on-one community or family mealtime together. Not having your phones, not having your TV in front of you, actually engaging in that conversation. I forgot what the exact statistic is, but I believe it's less than 40 minutes a day is the time that we actually do spend and have no distractions with our loved ones or friends or community members. So that's just something I wanted you all to know. Speaking just like personally and also professionally from the work that I do, that it is very detrimental to our community, even if you may not see the direct impact alone. I've written all of my public speaking notes when I did public speaking in 4-H. So I utilize the library to do my 4-H projects. I'm working with them to also do some family fun nights with Paoli Library and hope to do another round of family dinner project programming and food budgeting and meal planning programs with all 3 libraries in the community. I know they didn't really get to mention that. This is a new collaboration that I've done. Also, I haven't been here very long. I've been here for about 1 year and 4 months. But just speaking from the heart, that just please take that into consideration.
Jill, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you all. I'll see you on December 1st.
Thank you. Is there any other public comments or
I need to
audience
speak.
items?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I have prepared, Lonnie Stroud requested that I prepare an Orange County Health Department amended fee schedule ordinance for your consideration. It's ordinance number 2025-7. The changes to the fee schedule for the health department include a fee of $8 to be charged for reprints of paternity affidavits, a fee of $20 to be charged for home birth registrations, a fee of $25 charged for tuberculosis tests, and then it also includes the tattoo establishments, the temporary tattoo establishments. It consolidates that into this fee schedule, but doesn't change the fees for that. Those were already previously approved. This is for your consideration this evening.
Any further questions about that? Now we'll entertain a motion to approve the fee schedule as presented. Catherine, second. George, the second. Any discussion? Not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Thank you. And then my only other item, which I'm not gonna present it tonight, but I did email the county attorney contract for your review. So I will bring that up at the next council meeting so that you guys have time to review that. Any questions, you can just call me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry?
Angie need to talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody else?
Floor's yours.
Okay, I normally don't come in here and speak, but I'm looking for an answer for this. So I'm talking about raises because I know you're not getting raises this year. You're getting a stipend next year, am I correct?
Yes, you are correct.
So my question is, why can we not give the employees raises next year? Because if you're getting a stipend, why can't you just apply that toward
So I'm glad to answer.
our salary?
Unless anybody else has anything to say. I think the way that we looked at that, conservatively, based off of the direction that our budget is heading and the uncertainty with that into 2026, if we give a pay raise, which we would all agree that we'd like to do if it was possible, if we do that, we have to continue doing that for years to come. Because of the direction, the uncertainty of where our budget is heading to, if we give a stipend, we feel that we can give a stipend, knowing that because we don't know what our budget's gonna look like next year, we can give a stipend, that way you still get something, but yet, based off of the county's budget, we're not held to that pay raise or that amount for years to come. until we know what's gonna happen with our budget.
Okay, but we all know, everything's going up, the cost of living's going up.
Absolutely.
You know, so if the cost of living has gone up, we should be able to get a raise.
Where we're at with that, Angie,
And I know, okay, I know that Shelley has made the county money in the general fund.
she has, but is that gonna be here next year? We don't know. We don't know what next year's gonna bring. But the reason we agreed with the stipend is because we know what that's gonna cost. And we can do that right now. Next year, say everything goes to hell real quick. Say it goes January 1st. I ain't saying it
I
will.
don't think it will.
I don't know. You don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't know that,
But I
have
would
heard
rather
them
take
talk.
that, but I would rather take that chance as have to lay your office off. Lay somebody off in every office. Are we maybe being too conservative? I don't know, I can't answer that, but I would rather be too conservative as have to lay people off. And then nobody's got a job.
The council's job is to ensure that this county has a balanced budget.
That's right,
And
and
we're in better shape than most counties.
we are.
We are.
But are we gonna be January 1st? I don't know. We don't know what this state's gonna do. And that's where I'm at with it. But I would rather take that chance. But then maybe after next year, we see where everything's going. Maybe we can have a better raise. I don't know. I can't answer that till we're there.
I'm just saying,
But I would rather be way conservative as, okay, if it does, would you volunteer to be the first one to be laid off?
I'm getting close to retirement.
Would you be the first one to volunteer to be laid off? No, you wouldn't, because we don't wanna have to do that to anybody. You know, when I worked at the county, we had 20 people to worry about. Now we have 90. Sitting in this office, we have 90 people to worry about, and that's where I come up with my decision.
I understand your concern wholeheartedly. We've taken
Sure.
all this into consideration. We've all beat ourselves up over it. We've all talked about it. The budget committee has went back and forth trying to find the best solution to the problem at hand. The problem at hand is the uncertainties of 2026. So that's where we came up with the stipend. I think the other thing that's important to remember is, yes, costs have gone up, but the cost, if the cost is going up for us personally, which it has for me, I raised 2 little boys at home. The cost is going up tremendously. They're young teenagers now, and I buy lots of groceries.
I do too.
Point being is, yeah, we're all on the same page. We all have our problems to worry about. The county also has those same issues because the cost has also gone up for the county, not just the salaries, but the things that we can't control.
But too, also on that stipend, we based it, what was the percent? I can't remember what the percentage was on a 4% raise. I mean, so you're getting that amount, but is it gonna be on the back end of next time? No. No, it's not going
It's
against,
not
it's not
helping.
going,
Yes.
well, it's gonna help you because you're still getting the same amount of money. But is it on the back end? No.
No, that doesn't help me, you're gonna, okay, so you put that in a raise.
I
Then,
understand exactly what you're saying.
I may not get a raise in the next year, that's true, because you don't know where the county's going.
Right. But it may be better. I can't answer.
We try to make it fair with the stipend in an effort to allow you to still get a pay raise without being committed to that same budget item moving into 2026. We knew that we had the money to spend for a stipend this year.
This year.
We don't know what
We don't know what
2026
next
is.
year's gonna bring.
I just see the county spending, okay. I guess I'm a little sore, because
I agree.
the commissioners are down here spending $32,000. Putting the flagpole up there for $30,000. Out here, it's not been spent yet. There's more money to be spent out here. You see where I'm going with that?
Absolutely.
Sure.
We're spending a lot of money. I mean, that room gets used twice a month. You put a lot of money into that. Did you approve that? Or did the commissioners just do that?
I mean, everything gets approved. There's checks and balances. But I understand your point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just a little sore.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm not against you. I'm not against you whatsoever.
I'll be here 30 years, and it's like, okay.
But as far as that deal there, I mean, I can't answer. I mean, I won't answer on that. But as far as the raise, that's where I'm at with the stipend. So,
I just needed an answer because I just,
sure.
why,
Right. Because, like I said, I still worry about what's coming next year.
I understand you're concerned with these expenses, but these other expenses are also one-time expenses. They're not items that are budgeted for going forward either, like the flagpole, for instance, without stating the exact numbers off the top of my head, some of that was money that was reimbursed due to the sale of some copper, some of it came from casino fund. Once again, that's not how we,
17,000.
yeah, that's not how we figure up we don't look at our budget into the next year with all appropriations based off of the casino fund or based off of one-time sources of income and one-time expenses. We look at it moving forward for years to come, even past 2026. So.
Right, I mean, and who knows, lit tax is taking a hit, everything's taking a hit, and that concerns me.
Okay, I got my answer.
Okay.
I don't have to like it, but I got my answer.
And I'll say respectfully, this is not Angie's frustration. I think it's county employees
Sure.
Sure.
across the board. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
we
not
hear it from
speaking for-
everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's
And
frustrated.
I
Chad and I
Yeah.
worked here when we were making 12 and 13 bucks an hour, and you guys are making what now? 20? Close to it? Yeah,
I've
I
worked
mean,
30 years to get that too.
yeah, I know. I
You know,
mean,
when I first started, we were making nothing,
yeah, I know.
you know.
I think at the end of the
30
day,
years
I'll speak for myself. I understand completely.
Yeah.
I want to give a pay raise to everybody if I can at all.
Yeah.
I think some people deserve it more than others, but at the end of the day, I want everybody to be able to have cover their cost of living and then some. I want everybody to live a good life. I enjoy that myself, but as an elected official whose job is to be prudent when it comes to spending taxpayers' dollars, I have to make sure that I'm conservative as a member of this board because that's what I was voted to do. In an effort to do that, that's how we come up with this position that we're in today, with deciding how to spend our budget moving forward, with deciding on the pay raises. It's not that I don't want to do anything. I want you to know I'll be the first one to say that. I want everybody to be successful. I want everybody to make money. I want us all to be happy. But this is county government, and we have to be conservative, in my opinion. That's where I come from.
And I think we all feel like that I would love to give everybody a raise. I mean, that just makes your employees happy. It makes everybody happy.
But I don't see where the stipend, it's a pretty nice stipend, isn't it? I mean,
It is, that's not.
I know exactly where you're coming from, it's on the back end.
Yes, it's on the back end.
I mean, but still,
That doesn't help me, then the next year, and then the next year. I'm getting closer to retirement.
Sure.
Yeah.
What is it, your top 5, I think?
It's not a building block, is what
It
you
is not building, and I agree with that, but like I said, I'd rather go this route and not lay nobody out.
Although I think the perf is getting held out of that, so it kind of will increase your salary for next year, so that'll.
Perf is being
Sure,
held.
perf and taxes will be, but
I also
Yeah,
think we were
sure.
more liberal doing the stipend than what we would have if we'd
Done a raise, I agree with Alan on that.
because it was a one time instead of not knowing what's coming out.
'Cause I think you come in at 5-something%. I think is what the number was, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But like I said, I agree with you 100%, but that's where I'm at with it. The reason that I was with the stipend.
I'm sure that, I don't know how many of you work in public, but I'm sure you guys like to have your raises.
Well, but I
Up
don't,
until the past 5 years, I've only worked in public. I've only worked for government up until 5 years ago. So I've been in your shoes, not in your job, but I've been in your position fighting for my pay raise in front of a town council for the majority of the early part of my career. And I had this conversation that you're having with me right now. I've had it with many different boards. So I completely understand what position you're in.
where I'm at on
100%.
mine, I get a raise every 4 years.
And the reason why I got out of local government is because I wasn't able to use my skill set, and therefore I wasn't able to enjoy the lifestyle that I was looking for. With that being said, I totally appreciate your position and the positions of everybody else that works for the county. 100% appreciate everybody because I don't want to do it anymore. I'm glad to be a member of the council, but I don't want to work for the organization that I worked for in the past because of this.
It's not easy working here.
It is absolutely not.
I did it for 12 and a half years and worked full-time at home. Did the upholstery from 3 o'clock in the morning till 6. Went home and upholstered till 8:30 every night.
I farm.
Yeah.
George can help for that.
Yeah.
We work 7 days a week
Right.
after I go home, you know, it's nonstop.
Absolutely. I'm the same way.
Sandy is too.
I think it doesn't go unrecognized. We all work hard.
I know.
And
I know.
and I want you to know that I truly understand where you're coming from. These decisions are not made lightly.
I know. It's just frustrating. I had to voice my opinion.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you did.
We've been there too, haven't we,
And
Chad?
I'm glad
I'm glad
you
you
come
came.
in.
Yeah.
We've been there too,
Yeah.
when we get
Well, I remember.
1% raise back in the day,
I
remember
remember.
that?
Yes, I do.
That was before you come, Rick. I remember for 3 years, we didn't get nothing.
Or none, yeah, we went several years without
And
any.
then the next year, we got a nickel. I was
Yeah.
tickled. That was fine. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
but my lifestyle didn't call for that I had to have that much more, you know. I mean, but you talk about raises, I don't get one but every 4 years on the buses. You know, so that 4th year gets kind of rough. I mean, you know, because everything else is going up. So I know exactly where you're coming from.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Yep, sorry.
Any other public comments? Audience items?
Well, I don't know if I need to mention it or not, but we've got a fraudster that's trying to get into our checking account.
Okay.
There's been 5 checks that they tried to cash. Well, and they would have if we hadn't set up Positive Pay with our bank. It was a tool that conference they told us that we needed to use, so we went to our bank and set it up, and it has stopped all 5 of those payments.
Well worth that,
That's
wasn't it?
good.
Very worth it. Yeah, I slept better last night
I
because of
bet,
that. Yes, but it's scary that they can do that. And after dealing with the bank, working with the bank, we've decided that we need to open a different checking account for that. Even though it stops it, they're going to continue to do that.
On that account.
Yes. So that's a lot of work, but that's for the security of the county. That's what we need to do. So I called Davey, and then we called the state police. I've talked to Lynn, I've talked to Marshall, Steve. State Board of Accounts called, but it was at 4 o'clock when I was heading to the bank, so I didn't really get to talk to them. The Indiana State Police said that it is rampant right now, where they take checks and they try to do a mobile deposit and they pull from accounts. He said it is just rampant. We don't know how they got our account number, but we mail out checks all the time, so there's a possibility anyhow, but we're changing the checking account number and moving forward. And I just want to be transparent, just want to let you guys know in case you heard anything. It's-
I'm proud of you for getting on it and getting it caught before it got anywhere. So
Thank you.
thank you for that. Yes.
Appreciate it.
But
It's
all I can
a
say about it.
technology world,
And it's going to continue.
and it's gonna get worse.
They told me that, what you're looking at right now, they've already moved on to the next
Oh,
things,
yeah.
and so something else is going to pop back up again.
In that school, we're doing AI right now. That blows my mind what you can do. I mean, and it's just gonna keep getting worse and worse.
Yes. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Okay, Sandy?
Okay. First of all, I've got the additional appropriations. I got y'all copies of those, but I'll look at those. General fund was part-time clerk, $8,505.37. That was total for the general, and the clerk's perpetuation was $394.63. That made that $8,900 that you were talking about. That one. And then, Frenchland Casino, there was train fund for Purdue, $400, replace a flagpole, $19,138. That was the total for the casino fund, was $19,538. Total public health was $21,000. That was to replace the refrigerator. Carl's MDH, repairs and maintenance, they asked for $10,000 for $10,000 for repairs and maintenance, and then lot maintenance, so that's $70,000. For a total of $80,000 out of Fund 1176.
And that's the highway fund itself.
MVH, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
motor vehicle, yep.
Uh,
So that's all of those.
I will make the motion to approve the appropriation.
We have a motion, Catherine with a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, next I've got the casino application for the owner occupied rehabilitation grant. This is not an additional $68,000 or $68,875. It is, we'd already approved the $50,000 back in March. Like, so forever ago, we approved 50, but I think there's like, additional fees for the, planning 15, region planning 15, so there wasn't added in, so that increased it to the $68,875. So the commissioners have approved that, so just need your approval to, on this casino request moving forward.
Now, does anybody know when that grant is supposed to let loose?
She said you should know for sure by December the 22nd, that's when you're gonna know if you're approved or not. So, I mean, we've had tons of people coming in and asking about it, thinking that we already have it, but we just need to be patient because, I mean, it's gonna help a lot of people to get it, but
Absolutely.
we just don't have, I mean, we don't know yet. So, but we did get everything submitted, everything that Region 15 needed to submit it, so we'll see.
I'll make the motion to approve that.
Second. Go ahead, Jack.
Chad makes the motion, Jack with the second. All in favor? Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Okay, I'm gonna send that around for you to sign. Then I have the, 2026 meeting dates for your approval.
Everybody had a chance to review those?
No, I don't want it matters, I just come down here when Catherine texts me, tell me better.
I also emailed them to you.
Like notice that the March and October meetings are the week after our breaks from school, so those are the ones that are moved, March and October.
Never removed, we're good shape.
We'll just sign one of these, okay?
Yeah,
Good
just
shape on
one, we'll send one around, have everybody sign it just for me.
it. So you need a motion on these dates?
Yep.
I'll make a motion.
Chad makes the motion, Rick with the second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Okay. Then, I have a salary ordinance amendment. The only, it's kind of like one of them little slip up things, sorry, I'm still gonna play the new card. Last year, you know, we gave a 5% raise, but the Orange County Jail Commissary, it's on the last page, I've got it highlighted. On the salary ordinance before this was $1,100, but in the budget we submitted last year was $1,100. I mean, no, we submitted the budget correctly, $1,155 for the commissary, but on the salary ordinance, I only had $1,100. So I'm amending that just to make sure State Board of Accounts was to come in and see that difference, that's correct.
So you're just amending it?
That's
Yes.
the only thing changed.
Yeah, it's $110 is the total of the amendment, and the commissary's already paid it back, so there's really,
It's a wash.
it's just,
So do we need a motion for that?
yes.
I'll make the motion.
Makes a motion, second. Second. George with the second, any discussion? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, so I'm gonna send this one around for y'all to sign, corrected. Okay. Then, the last thing I have is I have the full-time salary ordinance and the part-time salary ordinance for 2026.
Did everybody have a chance to review that?
And we,
My name is on here, Cindy, so just sign it.
yes, sorry, just slide it under Jack. So, and can we bundle those by any chance? Just be like, one of them.
Of the ordinance, salary ordinances?
Yeah.
There's no way you can.
So would somebody like to make a motion to approve the 2026 full-time and part-time salary ordinances as a
I'll
whole?
make that motion.
Chad makes the motion,
I'll second.
Catherine with the second, any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Okay, I'm gonna send around, this is the full-time and the part-time for you guys to sign. Okay, let's see, so that's pretty much all I have, except for, I wanted to bring up a couple things or mention. The State Board of Accounts came in and did their audit and we really come out pretty good. And I did wanna mention though, like even past, to see if by chance I could maybe have Reedy help a little bit more next year. Because even in our audit, all of my findings with them even helping me was in the annual financial report. So, and that's with them helping, and I mean, this, and I know, I can't really say too much because it's confidential until it's released. But anyway, but that's where mine was. Carl had a couple, but, you know, like I said, I thought everything really turned out pretty good, but I just wanted to kind of put a bug in for Reedy because even with them helping me, it's so much, it's a lot. And then, and everything else coming up next year, like, that's not a lot. And I think Richard's even maybe thinking about having them do, you know, I don't know, that we might need to have a joint or something to kind of talk about. But anyway, just put a bug in for them. Then I wanted to mention that our casino fund, like, they have changed that down now, like, it went from like 150 to 160 that we were getting down to, I think, like, in August we got 55, and then we got 17 and 15,000, so, for the next 2 months. So like, that has dropped to like nothing. So, our next year casino budget, like, we've already got budgeted like close to $1 million, I mean, we've got that in there, but, I mean, you guys are gonna have to really watch that, cause it's dropped to nothing, so.
And what about, food and beverage? I know, I saw something the other day of how much we've collected, but does that seem to be going better than what we were talking about a couple months ago?
Was it? Yeah, it's almost double what
Well,
was
yeah.
projected.
It's been an average of around 58,000 a month.
Yeah.
And then,
And they're working, the state is working on trying to pick up the ones that haven't.
what was it, 20 of them, I think?
19.
19 that hadn't,
But I saw one on the new report,
yeah.
so they're down to 18 that.
So once they get that in there, it's gonna be,
I think there should be one going around, there should have, I need one of those.
Yeah, we signed one of those.
For the meetings.
I don't think I've seen it.
I don't know where it got stopped. Is the meeting date one going around?
I signed it, you sent it somewhere.
Oh, maybe it's here. I already did, you guys already did.
Oh.
I already got it.
Thanks for school, that's right.
I know, sorry. I think that's all I got.
You're good?
I think so.
I got a couple more things. There have been some requests for 2026 appointments for a couple of boards. One being the Orange County CBB and the other one being the Orange County Economic Development. Catherine?
I'll make the motion, Catherine keeps them positions for 26.
I would second that.
Is there any discussion, Catherine?
No, thank you.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Thanks for serving, Catherine.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did a very good job.
Thank you.
Does anybody else anywhere have anything?
Something I wanted to ask, but hell, I can't remember what it is now, so.
Anything for the good of the order before we adjourn?
I did have my second Luger class in Minneapolis yesterday. That's going very well, learning a lot. So, yeah.
Good deal. That's cool. Okay, Chad makes the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Rick seconds it. All in favor, signify by saying aye.